Hey everybody, welcome to the Weekend Vid. Normally it's Sarah doing this, but we're going to kind of cruise on through this. We're going to keep it simple. What we saw last week was SPY went inside week to the downside, which Sarah would have mentioned, and you'll see that takes last month's lows. So the question is, do we confirm that or negate that? Each weekly open will confirm or negate. So if we open and we're green, they're attempting to become a reversal to the upside. If we open and we're red, they're attempting to continue. We'll likely open inside week, so we want to know that. As far as Monday is concerned, we'd be a little bit closer to going reversal day up, but again, we're probably going to open inside. So we'll be mindful of that, not to trade consolidations if we don't have to, right? And we have a short week next week, so that does matter. As far as where you would want to be a buyer, it's really simple. We want to look for things that are closer to reversing. So if we go to the weekly scanner here, we can scan 2 down in green, which will be stronger than the SPY. As we look at the SPY, you can see at this point, we are 2.5% away from last week's highs. Whereas if we go to the top one on this list, TMO, the healthcares, you'll see TMO is only 0.4% away from triggering a reversal. So this is something we want to know about into next week. And since it's a short week, we don't want to trade anything inside bar. We need to have 2s in our favor. So that being said, healthcares, right? Maybe those if they continue buying. Staples, closer reversing up as well. And you see we jump over the sectors on the weekly. We'll notice communications also a little bit closer to reversing with, OIH, although the other energies are still a little weaker. So maybe a lot of inside weeks there. Retail, you'll see the hammer on the week. The airlines, hammer on the week. The transports, hammer on the week. Materials, hammer on the week, then real estates. So you can see it's more less tech and more of your industrials slash materials slash real estates, which is more defensive posturing, which will line up with your staples and maybe your utilities. If we get over here, utilities not so much. So that is what we see. So if we just go and sort those weekly 2 down in green setups for things that are up this quarter, these are the names we'd want to be focusing on. You'll see it's industrials, healthcares, and some consumer cyclicals. So we can really just take the top, 10 or so names in this list. So we'll just say like anything over, let's just say 8 gain. And this is where we'd want to be next week as a buyer for 2-2 reversals. So we can copy that list quick, and here's all the names. We can also say anything that did not take last week's lows would be stronger because it did not go down with the rest of the market. And that would be all these names on the inside week list. We've got about 114. And all I'm doing here is I'm going to remove anything less than 2 ATR. So we just get rid of the weaker names, or we could leave them, right? But we take that list, we copy it over. Then we can go to the month or quarter and do the same thing, sorting by that higher time frame. So let's just say anything over 10% this quarter. This is also where we want to be in. These are definitively stronger than the market because they didn't go down on the weekly basis. So we can copy all those names as well. And this is also where we'd want to be. So let me get this list pushed over here. And since it's Thanksgiving, we're going to be off this week. So as far as strat alerts, we will not be doing many streams, but you'll see here. Then inside, you can see just how easy all of this is now. Copy paste. And we could even look at things that are 1-3 up last week. You see these would be where the aggressive buyers countered that aggressive selling that we saw. And we want stuff that is above its open. So green, and we'd really just take like the top ones in here. RVLV, ROST. CTSH, and then KMPR. Not sure what they do. And then if we were going to look for things going down still, we could go inside week. And although they're stronger, that doesn't mean they have to recover. So we can copy those names, go back to the quarter, select all, and we can go who's going down this quarter with inside weeks. So you can see Carvana, DEC, Tesla, RGLD, so gold stuff, COP, some energies, real estates, right? This type of stuff. So we can just go like that. We can say anything greater than, or actually less than we'll say 10 points, or negative 10 actually, negative 10%. These would be your bearish inside weeks. So you can just copy that list over and you'll see there's some ETFs and stuff in there as well. And that doesn't mean they have to resolve bearish, but we'd prefer them break down first and then see, do they stay down or do we go 3 to the upside? So that covers what you'd want to be looking at going into next week. It's going to be all these names here. And that's it. Adios and have a good rest of your weekend.